The first thing to remember is that when we say housing shortage, we are talking about the difference between the number of households and the number of built units. And I think that's a very wrong way of doing it. What happens with a calculation like that is that we assume that a lot of people are actually homeless. The number of people who are actually without homes is much less than the housing shortage that it appears to be. So if we look at it carefully, what that actually includes is a large number of people who are living in inadequate and poor housing. Right? Now, if we identify it as inadequate and poor housing, then the solution would be in helping them improve the housing. The reason why we fail so much, or we appear to be failing so much, is because what we translate this into constantly is to think that we have to build so many houses, and that's not an easy thing to do, because where will the money come from? If we are going to give an apartment, very badly constructed apartment, to someone who is living in a badly conditioned house but a place that he considers his home, he just cannot afford to buy it. So the market is not interested in him. Right? So as a question of policy, the thing we need to do is to think about how people are providing for themselves and help them build it. And we have done this in the past in India itself, and it has actually succeeded quite well. You know, Hyderabad is a great example for something like that. In the 80s, we built a tremendous amount of housing in Hyderabad. The government didn't build it. What it did is to say that, okay, people are living in bad conditions. We are going to provide support to each of those households to build it as they want within constraints. Right? So you give them the infrastructure, you give them some services, and say, improve your house. And that's a viable thing, and we have completely put that policy away. We need to bring that back in.